My
Hello,
rash.
everybody.
My rash.
Without awful rashes, we don't really
Damn it,
want to
I
speak
think that
about.
was... No, I think it was cut off. Damn it.
Welcome to Out of the Light, our
go.
twice weekly Dungeons and Dragons live play. We have two separate groups to this one campaign. This is Group 2, also known as the Kraken Crew. And they might all die immediately. So this might be a very short stream. We'll see what happens.
I would like to change your name to the Hot Tamales.
The Hot Tamale. I don't... You have to submit all formal requests in writing, please.
I will start filling that out now.
Okay. Here we are. We are here. No big inroads updates, I don't think, right? I mean, I hate to say the same stuff we said last week and I said on Monday. I think we're doing our thing. Where, you know, if you've got Twitch Prime, we would love if you could give us a sub on the channel, or if you don't, you know, and you got a little bit of spending cash and you just feel like putting that up there, you can do that too. The reason I say that is because, guys, we are getting all into the emotes on this channel, and the more subs we get, the more emotes we can throw your way, which is really, really exciting. Oh, Anrin, my man. 2-month streak on that Twitch Prime sub.
Hey!
The beautiful thing. Oh, love it.
Let's go.
Thank you for putting in there that you seconded the hot tamale. Okay.
What did I get?
What did I get? Nothing. You don't get anything.
I got a
Nothing.
Pride Koala.
I don't know which
Wait,
one.
there's a Pride Penguin?
Yeah. I got a Pride Rise.
How do you get those things? I don't understand.
I think you just get them for
Oh,
subbing.
I have the penguin too.
Oh wait. You got... Yeah, it was that one. Thank you.
So as you see, guys, I know nothing about
happen.
Twitch.
Can I have the penguin?
I'm
Nope.
just here for the D&D.
The penguin?
I want the penguin too.
Sorry, everyone. We just got very, very sidetracked by emojis.
Yeah, which is weird. That never ever happens to us.
No.
Just getting sidetracked? No.
Yeah, no, never.
Who? Omega Long?
Yeah, I mean, unless you guys have any other updates we want to let the people know about, you can always, you know, follow us on Twitter or Facebook if you're not such a tweeting person. We update things there pretty often. The Instagram sometimes has very funny pictures of Tony trying to start fires.
Listen, I
different
tried.
things.
It didn't
It
work,
is one.
man.
I will say, it wasn't even a video of it. It was just a picture of you looking very, very manly.
Actually, I want to say that was Michael's fault because he didn't show up on time.
What I'm saying is, if you just took the compliment and didn't argue,
Nope.
you looked manly because it was a still. Nobody knew that you were having such terrible trouble starting the fire.
Him to do it.
Wasn't even mentioning it. Yeah. Other than that, I think we're here to play D&D.
Let's go.
Are we?
Let's do it.
And I would love somebody. I would assume it's going to be our wonderful, stupendous, often. Oh, I see. I have a cup. I have a Pride teacup.
I got the penguin.
Pride LGBT TEA LGBT. I really okay. The fact that it's a pun makes it even better.
Penguin. I got that.
All right. So yeah, if Jade, if you would like to recap what happened last time, and we can get right into this game we're playing.
Sure. So moved through the desert for a bit, and we tried the key a whole bunch of different ways. We tried to unlock sand, and all these sinkholes formed around us, but then block sand didn't do anything. We started moving close together because it appeared that the ground beneath us within a 20-foot radius was stable and moved with the key. We saw something moving in the distance, and it was Zorn. He was creepy looking. Tony fed him some money. And then we said open stone. And we were on pillars. There were like pillars in the middle of the forest, the middle of the desert. And we ended up on top of them and digging. And Wave tried to use detect portal, and the pillars gave off a portal essence. And there was a loud crack, and the tower we were standing on swayed and fell, and we landed someplace, and then there was a dragon. There were air elementals too. That's what I got. Okay.
All
Sorry,
right.
I wasn't as usual.
Yeah, I could listen to you recap last week's episode for this entire episode. Honestly. Yeah, so where you guys are right now, you're walking back on that invisible path through an open sky with far off clouds. Every once in a while, you're seeing these creatures that you've pretty well identified as air elementals zipping between the clouds. Your friend Zorn is quite a ways below you, but seemingly no longer falling after using this magical key that you got. And all seemed as well as could be expected, floating in a sky with no bottom, until bursting through one of the clouds, snapping hungrily at the air elementals that dissipated between his teeth. This creature seemed to spot you and is generally moving in your direction.
Going to make a friend.
I think
Probably.
Wave just starts screaming.
Okay.
Ah! You know, like, what the fuck, Captain? That's dragon. That's dragon. Dragon's coming, gonna eat us. Oh my god, we're all gonna die. What the fuck?
I think I said this last time. We were going to make friends. We talked to it, right? They talk. They smart. They're smart.
Yes, and apparently hungry.
Nah, it just had dinner. It's good. It's good.
I'll reach for my knife.
Put your knife away.
Not
Didn't
there
realize-
anymore, right?
Don't be
Oh, yeah, it's
threatening.
gone.
What? Oh, no. Oh, we have no chance anymore. Where do I go?
I'm gonna go and hide behind Jade.
I don't know what to do. Ah.
As this huge dragon just
Good.
is kind of like slowly every once in a while flapping just to gain a little bit of altitude, but lets himself kind of glide in your general direction and seems to slow himself down purposely as he's reaching you until finally he is fairly close to you, probably about 50 feet or so, and just like you can tell there's like a strong wind current because he's just barely every once in a while flapping his wings to keep himself elevated, but generally just letting the airflow keep him aloft as he just looks at you. And then he just, I keep saying he, but I suppose you don't see any I want to say evidence of gender hanging out from the creature, but you see just from the snout just this like steam come off of his mouth as it looks at you with this big furrowed brow, but otherwise is just staring at you at this particular moment.
Hello.
Is it safe to assume that I have never encountered a dragon in my life before?
Yeah, super safe to assume. We got in this world that we play in, to remind you guys, because dragons are quite rare. Many believe extinct until you guys as the adventurers tend to run into them every once in a while. But yeah, dragons they're not something that you see all the time. They're more historical figures than realities of the world.
Is there any kind of like common lore that is associated with them of like the basic stuff of either being proud or intelligent or regal or angry or.
So I'll let you roll your choice of a check on dragons. You can roll Arcana if you would like. You can roll religion, might give you some information about dragons. And if different people want to do different kinds of rolls, like I'll let somebody take on the Arcana part of it, kind of, or the religion part of it, as far as in general dragons or in this world specific kind of things.
Nature?
Um, I can see you getting some information in nature. Yeah, I could definitely see you guys getting some information from a nature check. I think all the information you'd be getting from these checks would be different, though. But
I ain't proficient in any of that stuff.
I'm not either, but well, nature, yes. Let's try that. See what happens.
Some short
okay.
ones should have Arcana.
A 19.
I can look at that if you want me to.
That would be nice.
a 19 nature check.
Yeah.
Okay. So that I'll give you definitely some information.
It has a penis.
Often, certain geographical features that have been there a long time are often attributed to dragons, right? Or imagined to be a place like that dragons once were, that sort of thing. So you would have information that red dragons particularly historically were known for liking to be pretty high, like up in mountains. They're into elevation, although usually there's also somewhere to perch, which looking around right now you don't see anywhere. So it probably makes sense that, if you're gonna find something up in the sky where you are, it would be a red dragon. I'm trying to think of what else to give you for a nature check, especially in the elemental plane as opposed to like in the world where you were.
Dietary
Yeah.
habit.
Yeah, they eat meat. So you're pretty sure that they eat meat. Yeah. They fly real fast.
Would I know if they speak common? Or most, if, because they're so old and they're cool, and, you know.
So any information that you have about dragons would come from so long ago that common wasn't a language. You know what I mean? So you wouldn't really have an idea of that. You do know that they have their own language, which is Draconic. So like as far as you know, there aren't really dragons anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And if they are, they're somewhere that they're never seen or around people. So you're not entirely sure, but there is always one way to find that out.
Buy a check.
Hello.
By speaking to him. This is where I was going, but
I was hoping it would be easier than that. Alright, how close is he? If I yell, could he hear me?
yeah, he's like
Hello.
50, 60 feet away.
Captain, say hello to him again.
No, I said it once.
No, say it again.
Don't yell at me.
I'm sorry, it's just, I'm
Put your
nervous.
place.
I'm a little nervous.
Did you? Never mind. I don't want to know.
Yes, I probably did.
There's this big booming voice that comes through, cuts across the wind, whipping around you. What are you?
I am Captain Hondo. A human.
You see the dragon kind of like sniff the air quickly, and as like he settles, like afterwards more smoke just billows out the sides of its muzzle.
We're a bit ripe. It's been a few days.
It has been a long time since I've smelled meat.
Yo.
We don't taste
I'm
very good.
very skinny and mostly bones.
I'm very gamey and muscular. I won't taste very good.
Also illegal to eat in most places.
The dragon kind of just minutely tips its wings a little bit and just starts like moving towards you slowly, still flapping just every once in a while, but only to keep the elevation, as it's just allowing the air current to push it closer to you.
Hmm.
Captain,
Do
he's
you have
pretty
a
big.
name?
How have you found yourselves here?
I don't know. We're kind of lost.
Well, you see, we followed these guys. They were telling us about this altar that they wanted us to find, and we got lost in all these different planes. And we met that guy down there, but he kept trying to steal from us. And so I took out my knife and you know,
Fed it to him.
I almost attacked him. He was very scared. But you're lucky, 'cause I don't have my knife. So we'll be friends.
Oh.
He kind of just looks at you strangely, like not really being able to follow what you're saying. Um, and he says, "You're moving between planes of existence."
Yep.
And you see the dragon kind of cock its head strangely
I'll
as
do
it
the
like
same
stops. Yeah. It's now only about 20 feet from you. Like if it reached out its neck, you are like, it could probably get a big chomp off one of us very, very quickly. It's extremely unnerving to be this close. And you see that while, whenever it exhales, this a larger plume of smoke escapes from its like muzzle. Uh, there is a constant just stream of it. Like there's just a fire burning directly in the throat.
You gotta
Um,
stop. Ah.
Excuse me, wise one. My friend is not good with other people. Uh, I I am Wave, and we are lost trying to find our way back to the middle realms. You seem to be the only intelligent creature we've found so far.
the middle realms. Could you take another there with you?
Well, we are not exactly sure how we got here ourselves, so I guess it's up to whatever mysterious thing is actually getting us to move around. It is possible.
I don't know. You're probably a little too big.
How do you all float
We
where
have,
you are?
we don't know.
We've been kind of walking on these
The
invisible membranes that connect to different portals to different realms.
Um, the dragon tips its wings again as it gives a last like and moves even closer to you. It's only about 10 feet from where you guys are now, and its head is pretty level with uh, with your bodies. Its head being, like about the size of your torsos, and you're pretty sure it could just like bite you in half. And this look in its eyes tells you it's probably thinking about it, right? But there's also an intelligence in there that is holding it back and thinking as it stares at you. And it says, "Perhaps we can help one another."
Hmm. Okay.
We'd be willing to take any help you would decide to give us.
I have not eaten. in a long time.
I just saw you eat that thing over there.
These creatures do not offer real sustenance to me.
So what are you thinking?
Hey, should we?
You could eat wave.
No.
Jade would be a
No,
nice
no, no.
snack.
Its
Or-
its eyes like dart to wave when you point over to
Or
him.
wait, or you could eat Captain if you want. He's the strongest one.
I'm just going to take that as a compliment, saying I'm the strongest of you all.
Excuse our ignorance, wise one. What is it that dragons eat?
Traveling the plains is a dangerous game.
Hey, what's your name?
There are 4 of you.
Yep.
Would it be so bad if 3 were able to make it back?
Yes.
Well, there is 5 of us. You could take the 5th down there.
And he kind of like sniffs at the air again and says, "That is not what my kind eats."
It was a shot in the dark. You know. Well,
Maybe if you would like it.
maybe it will have some sort of hallucinogenic effect on you.
We are
Oh, no, go ahead.
we are all accomplished hunters. Is there anything on this plane that we could hunt down for you?
Most things on this plane are just air.
All right, listen, I got an idea. Wait. All right. What if we take you back with us and we feed you as many humans as you want?
What?
Captain, quiet. I'm trying to get us out of here.
I want you to roll a persuasion check there, Binky boy.
I caught something for him to eat.
Bingo.
Bingo, it's a cat.
Hey, 18,
All right.
baby, let's go.
All right. He says, he kind of moves forward and he says,
No.
oh, we got some people questioning some things
Yeah.
in chat that look really cool, by the way. I love that. It says, I have heard of the Middle Realm,
Yep.
full of things to eat.
Yep.
Dwarves are tasty too.
Yes, they are.
I'm not a dwarf. Fucking asshole.
You said you are traveling between planes. Where else have you been? Perhaps that will let us know where you are going.
I'm going to turn to Wave and I'm going to say, should I tell him I was at his mom's house?
No.
It's probably not a good idea. Well, we were at the Earth plane. It was filled with sand. That place sucked. We were stuck in a hole. I think it was always a pit.
Near the fire plane.
Yep. That guy was
We've-
mean.
I think we were above the fire plane. We did meet a genie.
We haven't gone to
We-
the water one yet, and that's I told we don't because we can't breathe underwater.
We saw a giant forest where only dead things go.
You're following the wheel, then.
The
Huh?
wheel of death.
You've never seen a look of like regret and disappointment on a lizard before, but that is certainly what you see across this dragon's face as he's looking at you. It's this weird like I am a lizard and being very pedantic kind of look that you get. And also, I still might eat you. And he says, the elemental wheel that revolves around the outer planes. You guys can roll if you want either a religion or an arcana check on that.
Like all of us?
Sure.
Natural 20.
I think Binky Boy's gonna
I'm just
take
thinking
the
about. I
cake.
want. You said
Oh,
wheel, and
I
I
got
want a
one
wheel.
too.
Natural
wheel of
two
twos.
natural 20s.
That's my
Bink with a
boy.
+7 too. Oh my god.
Now give us all the information.
Okay. I wish I could bring this. I'm not gonna try to do anything crazy like share my screen or anything on this, but all right, Bink. Let me see. Were you both okay? So Bink, you rolled Arcana and got a natural 20, and Josh, you rolled Religion and got a natural 20. So that's interesting. So I think each of you have different pieces to this puzzle.
Oh, yeah,
So
puzzle.
the kind of the multiverse of this world, right? It very closely matches, if you or viewers or anyone know the Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition kind of wheel of the multiverse that they use. With definitely some changes because the way we do heavens and hells are very different here. So, Bink, you know that if you were following the wheel, the way it's generally portrayed in the books and the theory and theological texts that you've read in your life, that's kind of the way they're thought to be set up. That it fire, earth, air, then water, and then it kind of goes back into the fire elemental plane. And these planes are thought um, to bleed into one another, but where the planes touch is known as the elemental chaos. And like no creature lower than a god is thought to be able to actually move through that elemental chaos to get from one plane to another, which is why things like elemental portals would be used instead. Oh yeah, it's all Illuminati. With that said, I think that this makes a little bit more sense to you now, Wave, because as you're thinking of it in that way, when you were moving from the fire elemental plane to the earth, and you saw that big forest, it made sense to you, and it really starts to click now that you are moving close to Sylvaticus, right, which is one of the heavens, right, which is thought to be this like beautiful lush forest, which is also on the treetops of which is where angels are thought to make their home, which also makes sense why there was that angel that was there at that point to come and Deus Ex Machina you guys back to life.
They live in nests and trees like birds.
Yep.
And what I think you both kind of have more of an understanding of now, thinking of it that way, which doesn't answer your question. It actually makes more, which is that whatever this membrane, as it was called, right, that you're walking on that moves between planes, you've not just been on that, but you've kind of been falling on and off of it, right? So when you were near the fire elemental plane, you were very far away from it. And then it led you directly into the earth elemental plane. So you were actually in that plane of existence, right? And now you are obviously in the air elemental plane. And even when you were in the earth elemental plane, right, you weren't walking on this at all. You were just in the earth elemental plane and kind of like refined it. Which I think probably makes your characters feel like a little bit more uncomfortable about that fact, only because as opposed to like, yes, I'm just walking on this path, it's like, oh, I've been falling on and off of this path the whole time I've been going. That's probably not good.
So we just have to fall.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Just do that.
Well, the problem
Yeah.
I'm seeing, Cap, is if we are on this wheel, uh, our home is not on it, and if we just keep traveling the wheel, we'll never get back to where we're going. So
We got to jump
maybe
off the wheel.
maybe our dragon friend knows how to do that.
Uh, I would say, especially because you got the like 2 nat 20s. That's you guys impress me, so I'll give you this 2. You also know then the next elemental plane that you would be moving towards would be, as you said, the elemental plane of water, which has a very weak barrier and bleeds in and out of the hellish plane of Iracundia, which is where Gusa resides with all of
Let's
his
go there.
demons.
I like Gusa.
I,
Okay.
I
Just-
don't I don't want to
just-
go to hell.
Just
You-
putting that out there too.
Well, you know, we haven't done the best things in life, so we might be.
I'm an
We are
angel.
pirates. We're pirates.
I never stole anything you did. I just took your money.
You're guilty by association.
Now,
You were on the ship. You literally led us onto the trade routes where we were going to steal things.
I
It
don't
was
want
your
to talk
job.
about this. Hey,
You did it.
can
Every
you
day.
get us out of here or what?
Like 8 years. Oh,
Not you.
If you need to move through the elemental plane of water, and you see the dragon kind of thinking for a little bit and gives himself a pause. He says, "You may need help. It is not as safe as it is up here in the cloud."
okay. And do you have a suggestion for who could help us?
You said you're on a path, didn't
Mm.
you?
Yes, but it's kind of taking us, in a circle, like a wheel.
What is it you said you were searching for?
Some altar.
The mid-league altar.
And a minor
Trying not to
illusion and
say it.
altar.
Oh. But thank you for that.
My god, but every time I fucking roll to see if this dragon knows what it is, there's a nat 1 right there.
That's not good. Damn it. Fuck.
Hey, you guys get nat 20s and I'm getting nat 1s. Ugh, okay.
I think you
We-
may have not heard of me before, but what is your name?
Am known as Bartok.
Well, it is nice to meet you.
Sorry, chat.
Did he say bar top? Like the top of the bar where you drink?
Oh, I could use some ale right now.
I think he said talked like a clock.
Bar.
Otter talk.
This isn't working.
Pink, you are fading
And-
in and out of existence.
If I am to help you with this, I may need some protection.
Oh,
I am
okay.
certainly ferocious.
Big
but-
teeth.
I don't do particularly well in water.
Oh, that is our. But never mind. I'm
Have
going
you
to say
not
it is
seen
our
Captain?
specialty. What?
Look at him. He's great.
He's red and big.
What the fuck?
He says, if you continue on, I will keep you safe in this plane.
Okay.
But
What do you want in return? Yeah, yup. I'll throw you the butt.
you must swear then that you will not pass into the next plane without me.
Okay, I think we can do that because we did take that thing down there that you said you don't want to eat. He came with us, so
He kind of looks down and gives a nod.
would you be able to get him like back up here with us? I feel bad. He's just stuck down there.
I can do that.
You wouldn't happen to know if you can travel this path backwards by any chance? Like we can't get him back home.
Oh,
I don't know what this path is.
yeah. Maybe you
Okay.
can just try. Yell down to him. Just, hey, walk backwards.
I cannot see it, and the dragon reaches out one of its claws and like comes down at the pathway that where you're walking, and you have a split second reminder of when the flail snail burst right through it, and this creature is much more big and ferocious, and the claw passes right through.
Oh,
Can't touch it.
Ah!
okay.
So,
I want that to be my ringtone. Just wah!
Bartok, would you be willing to transport us through this realm? I don't. I would hate to be as presumptuous as to ask if we could ride on your back, but I don't know if there's any other way to move through this air. We obviously can't fly.
I have been flying through this land. And he kind of like shakes his head, remembering that there is no land. Says, I've been here for a long time, and I have been unable to find a portal out. I believe, I do hope, that by walking along this path, you may lead me to a portal out. If you are not to be a meal, that is your use to me.
Deal?
Huh? Yeah, it seems to be the way things have gone.
I'll take it. You know.
He says, I will retrieve your companion. And with that, he just folds his wings on, turns, and like falls like incredibly fast, right towards your friend down below. And you believe, though it is probably too far and windy to hear, you do believe you hear a scream. But it is not long before Bartok returns. Your rock friend clutched in one of its claws, like precariously, um, as it's hanging there. I totally do not remember what voice I was doing for this, but
Zorn?
talked
is kind of
slow.
yeah. So the dragon kind of like uh tries to put Zorn down and is trying to like find where that pathway is, and eventually, because you remember he just fell right through it before,
Oh
but
my
now he finds it and gets Zorn and then releases him, as Zorn is like shaking worse than on the shifting sands from the desert you were on.
Welcome back, friend.
I
You're welcome.
ugh. And you see like they are like holding on to its midsection, like it feels as if it's going to be sick.
Oh, I thought it would be great when he puke up our coins that got fed to him. We could collect. Because somebody does not know the value of money.
No, I do.
Reoccurring theme.
Now, see this big guy here, Rocky? Steal again, and he'll eat you.
See, once I see a picture of it, now I kind of remember. I hope. I am so sorry. I'll be good.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, no more stealing.
Nope.
You think you're hungry. He's hungry too. We got. What is it with all the things people we meet? They're all hungry. No one knows how to have food. They all suck at the survival thing.
Listen. Let's
Yes.
go. I'm sick of this.
Ugh,
Yeah,
I'm
and at
sick
this
of
part,
you.
Bartok is kind of like almost like scouting out around you. He's like flying ahead around through. You see him flying through certain clouds, especially the ones closest to you, and like scattering air elementals as he goes.
Hey, can you breathe fire?
There is no response as he continues to like almost like lazily, even though he is like scattering these creatures, these entities in front of him. He's doing it almost lazily, and not with that same like ferocious hunger he was when you first saw him bursting through.
Looks like he's not
Do
having as
we
much fun.
do we get the idea that this is like a 20-foot in diameter circle that we're all kind of standing on like last time, or is
Oh
it
no no
more
no!
like
It
a
does.
straight path?
Yeah, it does seem to be more like a straight path, like on as you were going above the fire elemental plane.
Okay.
Yeah, as you like feeling around it, it's that same kind of thing where it continues kind of forward and back.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess we just keep walking. I mean, I have an idea and I can try something, but I would hate to be wrong.
We keep walking.
All right, you guys
Slow
are
it.
just
Don't fall off.
okay. So, what are you doing? A marching order? Well, I mean, obviously you are, because you are. If you're walking on a thin path, you do need to be in some sort of order. Uh, and what are you doing? Are you guys trying to just keep an eye out? Are you just, taking a stroll and you're gonna let whatever happen?
Yeah, we are just
That'd
walking,
be
and
fine too.
I make a little echo friend, and he can walk in front of me and test the path.
Okay, so your echo is in front of you and you're like directly behind. So you're in the front,
Mhm.
Captain.
I'm the captain.
Besides for your echo.
I lead
All
the way.
right. Where's everyone else?
Wherever Zorn is, I want to be behind him
Sure.
because I caught him trying to steal some stuff from me, and I want to
Yes.
keep my eye on him.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'll go behind the captain.
All right. Where do you want to be, Binky boy?
I'll be in the back. That's fine.
Okay. So Captain Jade,
Jade,
Zorn, Wave, Bink.
right?
Okay. Um. The dragon's gonna be really nice to these guys. I don't know why anyone in chat would assume otherwise. Uh. He's a very nice, very hungry red dragon.
Mhm.
Yeah. So as you continue on, why don't you um uh Captain why can't I not Hondo? I'm like, why can't I think of your
Oh.
I wanted to say Blanchette, but no, that's wrong day. Hondo, why don't you give me a perception check as you're at the head of the pack, kind of keeping an eye out.
Oh, 6.
6. Yeah, it's a nice walk you're having.
Very nice.
You
There's
have
a nice breeze
never
here.
been able to watch a dragon fly before. You've never seen one, and seeing this huge creature be so unbelievably like languid and graceful, as it is like scattering terrified elementals before it, is a real sight to behold. It is something very special, and you're not sure if all dragons are quite as like graceful as this new friend you've made, but he is particularly fun to watch.
Okay.
Okay. Anything anyone else would like to do while you're
When I
moving
when I
ahead?
see the dragon, do I get a sense that he's, besides obviously being hungry and him wanting to kill everybody,
Sure.
like, did I get a sense that he wanted to go to our plane to be a menace, evil?
So generally, I would say that would be a great insight check to roll while you're having the conversation.
Ah, okay.
But I will let you roll it now. Just going for usually. You're because now you're like trying to remember back to what
Natural 1.
was. Yeah, so that works out quite well. You're actually you're I don't think you care
Hmm.
if he's going to be a menace. I think you would follow this dragon to the ends of the earth
And you'd
Okay.
be
because
happy to see
he
him.
seems like a nice guy.
Yeah,
Sounds
happy
good
to
to
see him
me.
make the human population smaller.
That's right.
Yeah,
You offer the
decrease
human.
the surplus population.
Hopefully he
There is
takes
some-
out all the humans and whatever wave is, and hey, he can
Whoa.
have Jade for a snack too.
Good old
Whoa.
Bartok Scrooge.
What is wrong with you? I
I'm
can hear
thinking
you
that.
say
I'm
that.
thinking it. I'm thinking
You
it.
said it out. You said that out loud.
I didn't say anything out loud.
Are you
I love
drunk?
you guys.
You always think you're having inside thoughts, but they're outside thoughts.
Uh,
Question for you, Hondo. Your duplicate whatever it is. Does it follow the rules? Like, is it like you? Does it follow like physics rules?
Yes.
That kind of thing. Okay. All right.
Yes,
So
like
with a
it can't
six,
go through walls or anything. So.
yeah. Okay. So with a 6 perception while that's happening, but you put him out in front of you, you walk for a while. The better part of an hour or so, and you're looking around, not seeing any really big change to the scenery or anything that's going on. But you do notice a change when your duplicate takes one step and is suddenly falling, like it fell
Ooh.
off the edge, and it is.
Stop! Don't fall off. I think we have to take a turn.
All right, test it with your toe.
Well, I'll just make a new one.
Do some tapping.
Let's make a new one.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
a
you're-
bonus action to make one, so I could just keep doing
Perfect.
it. Oh no,
Yeah, you're.
it might be an action, but we're not in combat.
Yeah, your duplicate disappears from
away when
falling
I
as
make one.
another one appears, and it's just putting its toe out and tapping around.
Mm.
But it does seem as if you have reached the end of the path.
We are here. I
Should
don't
we
know where that.
try? Should I try and use the key?
Oh,
Like to like open the door to.
Yeah.
yeah,
Sure.
make it happen.
All right, I kind of get to the edge of the path, and I take out the key, and I kind of turn it, and I say, "Open water."
Uh-oh.
Okay. Nothing happens immediately when you do that. Nothing. Nick, you don't know my laughs. What are you talking about?
No, not
Oh.
you.
Oh.
Mm.
So, Bartok rather quickly comes. At this point, Zorn is just quiet. He is like, I just got carried by a dragon. There's no ground around. What the fuck is this? But Bartok, like seeing that you guys have stopped, turns and he says, "Why have you stopped?"
No, the path is the path is stopped. We fall if we keep going.
I think this is the end.
Where is the portal?
Ta-da!
I don't know.
And he seems to start getting annoyed as it says, "How has it worked previously? What have you done to access the portals?"
We have been lucky.
Well, I have this innate ability to kind of sort of sense where they are, but I can't do that for a while. I have to take a quick rest before I can do that again.
Okay, catnap. I look at Jade.
A rest. We have just gone off. What is this? We had a deal.
We still do.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, I'm sure you can't breathe fire all the time indefinitely. You kind of have to like wait for a while for it to come back. It's kind of the same way. I can figure out where the nearest portal is, but I can't do it whenever I want. I have to kind of wait for that skill to come back. I can only use it at certain times.
Um, and Zorn like is like kind of bumping into you at this point as he's like shuffling, like almost like where you had been walking before. It was okay with walking. At this point, it like is shuffling around, like not okay with not being able to see a ground or anything. Um, and like one of its feet almost like slips off as it has to like scoot back. And he's like, I
Oh.
don't like this.
Yes, just don't keep moving. You're going to fall off.
Or
This
not going
is
to look off.
worse than sand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think any of us like it.
I still have some sand in places you don't want to see, though.
I mean, I could try and use the key to close this place instead of trying to open the other place.
But
I
then would
smell something.
okay.
Water.
Oh.
Close then.
No, no.
Zero.
Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes we just jumped off and we fell into the new plane, but sometimes we jumped off and we were falling to our death. So, 50-50 shot.
Bartok kind of like stops and does like a quick like loop around you guys as it's looking around. And he yells over from a bit of a distance. I don't see the water, but I smell it.
Okay.
Does
Well,
your nose tell you what direction it's in?
you need to follow your nose.
As he continues to just kind of like do this like wide sweep around you. And all of a sudden, as you guys look down, you notice barely like just in time as a bunch of these air elementals that have been going around are coming like towards you from the bottom. And they are flying super fast, and there's a bunch of them. There's probably a dozen. And as they get to about where you are, they kind of break off and then go off in other directions, like almost like a geyser erupting around you. Bartok like languidly like bites at one of them as it goes by, and it gets away. And he says, "What was that?"
I have an idea. They just got shot out of somewhere. Here, and I push my echo to make them fall from where like to into like where they were just coming from. Let's see
Sure.
what happens. Let's see how far he goes.
He starts falling.
And
He
goes
probably gets a
20,
couple
30 feet away
hundred.
from me.
How many
Nope,
feet?
30.
30.
forgot.
Yeah. So he goes 30 feet and poofs then.
Whoops.
Okay.
Well, that's
Did,
as far as he can go.
Did the elementals, any of them, have like a look of fear on their face, like they were running from something?
Sure.
Okay,
Make
what?
an insight check.
13?
Okay, so they don't have faces as such. Nothing that you can see, especially when it's moving that quickly. But you do get the distinct impression from their body language that they were moving away from something. They were going with a purpose. And you've seen them move at a purpose, moving away from a dragon, and they weren't moving towards anything, right? They were moving away from something.
I don't know, Cap. Rats from a sinking ship? We've seen that happen before.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go down there.
There is a rumble beneath your feet, and it's hard to say this on a pathway that is invisible to you that you can't see, but you feel it crack.
Oh, yep. Yeah, we don't have a choice. I think we're going anyway.
I would call out to Bartok. I think we're going down. Come fly down with us.
And he rather quickly like tightens the circle he's doing as he comes in closer and closer. And there's another rumble, and like it cracks more under your feet. One of Zorn's feet kind of slips off and through a little bit, and he's like using his hands to try to hold himself up on the ground as his big mouth at the top, you just kind of hear like Tina Belcher from Bob's Burgers, kind of like like not sure what's happening. And you feel as if you're going to fall, and you have, I mean, and you're right up in the sky, so that feeling in the pit of your stomach is there, and then the ground lurches again, and you feel like you're going to fall, but you don't. Instead, what happens is water bursts out from below you, from
Oh.
nowhere, and it is a huge geyser under your feet. It's like you're standing on top of, and I guess this is a reference that only makes sense to people that have played in our game, but it's like having the Kai Fen and standing directly on top of it. As you are all thrown off your feet high into the sky, you see Bartok as the water hits it, and he, this graceful turn he was doing is turned, its wings kind of crumple into him, and he rolls, getting picked up by this geyser that is throwing you not downward but upward. I need everyone to make a, let's say, Dex save.
Ah!
Kind of natural
Made
one.
it.
What the fuck? Ugh.
All right. 19 for, I almost said Bree, for Jade, 11 for Wave, a 9, and a nat 1 for my glass cannon buddy. I love it. All right. So, let me see. So, okay. Hondo, you are going to take 8 points of bludgeoning damage. Wave, you are just going to take 4 points of bludgeoning damage. Jade, you are going to take 0 bludgeoning damage. And my good buddy with his nat 1 is going to take 16 points of bludgeoning damage.
God. Ah.
As just the very force of this geyser from below you, battering you, throwing you around, as you realize there's not just one like jet stream of water, but there's like multiple competing ones that are pushing you. Jade almost like, even though she's being pushed upwards, like moves herself into like a dive position and just lets herself move with the current of the water. As pretty soon you are entirely engulfed and you are underwater. Still tumultuous, but not just being pushed, like it is all around you. I need everyone to roll a Constitution check for me.
Is this
Check
for
that
the
thing.
ability to breathe?
To breathe underwater, which Wave I
let's
think you
see.
can just do, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Wave is like, this is my spot.
Wait, was I supposed to do a save?
Check.
Check.
Yeah, it should be
Oh.
a check, not a save.
They're the same thing, aren't they?
Not
Unless
for
you
me.
have
Depends.
proficiency in the
Yeah.
save.
I don't, but I'll re-roll it.
Oh, I did better.
Okay.
Did much worse. Great.
All right. So, after being battered, especially as hard as you were, Bink, I think you already had the you had the wind knocked out of you. So now that you are underwater, you are finding it difficult to breathe, and you accidentally like gasp in and take in just a mouthful of water. And you are not doing too well as far as that goes. Everyone else does manage to kind of just hold their breath as best as they can. Wave, you're fine. You're gilling out or whatever it is. Do you have gills? How do you breathe underwater?
I
Or
do.
is it
I do have gills. Yeah.
You just have, yeah. Okay, that's the way to do it.
No.
Um,
Damn it.
I will give Wave. So instead of you rolling a check here, then I'm gonna allow you to like see what's going on, as you're all still fairly close together, including the big red dragon and the earth elemental, right? I'm gonna let you like do an action or something to help somebody else or prepare yourself some way as you're just being jettisoned upward. If you would like to.
Um, yeah, I guess I would like try and start like swimming in whatever kind of current uh this is taking me, and like try and grab the cap and like hold on to him so that if I get to a point where I can see the surface or break the surface, I can
Sure.
pull
Bring him
him to
up.
the surface.
Yeah, absolutely. So you go and you grab on to the captain, who like at first like flinches, but then sees that it's you and trusting you, uh, lets himself be pulled up. Um, okay. Um, with that, you are all moving for quite a while, and you just feel yourself being pushed. Eventually, you all actually find yourself smacking into the side of this dragon, as the current actually seems to be like almost compressing you guys to all into one spot, as opposed to before where you were kind of pushed apart. It's doing the opposite and focusing you all together. Um, Bartok, this dragon, uh, actually, as graceful as he was in the air, is kind of like crumpled over and is not hydrodynamic at all, as he is like his whole side of his flank is being pushed a direction of this, and you can see the face as it's curled backwards, like grimacing in pain. Um, and eventually, you feel yourselves actually just pushed out from this big torrent of water straight ahead into what is just open water. You are still underwater, but there is no longer this huge current, and you are all able to kind of like look around um, and see kind of what's going on. What is your con modifier, um, Bink?
Uh, 2.
Okay, you have 2 rounds to find something um, to breathe. Otherwise, you'll be drowning. Everyone else is holding their breath.
Oh my god.
Is there any? Do I see any kind of break or surface?
Make a perception check.
9.
Yeah. So, first of all, it's very difficult for you to figure out which way is up at this
Right.
particular sense, right? You were just jettisoned into war, and it felt like you were going up, but at this point, you're kind of like tumbled and turned around, and you're not sure. You look around quickly. You do notice a couple things, though. So as you're trying to figure out which way is up, you do see something kind of a little ways to a distance. And at first you think, oh, that must be up. No, it's actually the bottom. And you do notice some green plant vegetation growing in the sand of what seems to be the bottom. And you look the other way at that, and you don't see any way up from above.
Okay.
Hmm.
Anyone else? Because remember, you can, uh, you, the people. So Hondo and Jade, you can hold your breath for your con modifier minutes
Hmm.
underwater. So whatever your con modifier is, you can hold your breath for that many minutes. 3 minutes. What's your con mod, Jade?
2.
Okay. I'm asking you guys what you're doing. You have. I'm not. Wave kind of did a thing already, but
Right.
the
I
rest
want to
of you,
do
what are you
another
doing?
thing, but I want to give everyone else a chance to do
Yeah, you
something
will be
first.
able to, but I'm
Yeah.
since there's 2 rounds right now for one of your players to find something before you
Okay.
start drowning.
This
Are
is
there
what
any
we're
animals
gonna
on the
do.
open floor?
You can also make a perception check. As you like orient yourself, figure out which way is the bottom. You look around, and You don't see any animals, any living things other than these plants, and they're huge, right? So it's not like a plant; it's like hugely overgrown, like things with like leaves that are probably like 8 feet long, um, all along the base of this water. Um,
I'm gonna swim down and grab a leaf and try and make something to cover my face out of it.
okay. So as you go down and the leaf and you grab it, you see a little bloop, start to like go up of air, and you look underneath the leaf, and actually look at this like this big leaf has somehow is holding an air bubble underneath it.
All right, well then I'm gonna go under it and stick my head into the air bubble.
Sure, yeah, and you kind of do that, and you go in. You take a nice deep breath.
Sorry, can I see if there are air bubbles under the other leaves?
You've already, I think, done enough for a turn. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Um,
Can
Bink
I
and Honda, what do you?
before?
Sure. Yeah. I think it's fair enough that your party members know what you have done.
Okay.
I will try and get down there, even though I'm drowning.
You can, and you're not. I'm not making you drown per rules. I'm giving you that kind of couple rounds before
Okay.
drowning, as
Couple
such
seconds.
happens. Um,
Yeah, I'll go down and try and
And-
get
yeah,
a
you do
bubble.
too. And you're like, you get another leaf. That's a bit away, right? Because this plant, the leaves are huge, but so are the stems. So you're probably like 10 feet away from Jade, but you do stick your head under the bubble. And as you do, like a bunch of like the air escapes, and because you're like frantic now, and like these little bubbles boop, boop, disappear, but you are able to fill your lungs.
Are there a couple in the area that I'm in, or is it just one?
Yeah, no, it's and these plants aren't super close together.
Yeah.
But there's a decent
There's a
amount of them
couple, okay.
around.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try and get another one too.
sure.
'Cause
Yeah,
I'm greedy.
yeah. I mean, you haven't. Right now, your head is just in it, and it's like think Pirates of the Caribbean when they like turn the canoe upside down and like walk under the water. It's that kind of deal, right? You're
Oh,
in
so
this
it's a good
big.
amount.
Oh yeah. I mean, this
Oh,
leaf
okay.
is like the leaf is like 8 feet long, so
Yep.
it's kind of captured. You don't know how the air got there in the first place, right? But it's captured a decent amount of it. Yeah, you're feeling okay there for a while.
I would just like to point out that this is like one of my worst real life nightmares, and I'm really glad that it's making its way into Dungeons and Dragons just for my enjoyment.
I'm here for you. Well, you did threaten my literal life if this dragon killed you, so
I did do that earlier. I'm not gonna pretend I didn't.
yeah. She
say
said she was gonna kill me. I said she might as well do it on stream so we can get some follows from it.
That
Well,
might be
then,
against Toss.
totally
I don't
worth-
know.
Well, we'd have to see. Honestly, I don't.
Well,
haven't-
Twitch is letting lots of other stuff slide.
Yeah. Okay. So there you guys find yourself, right? Hondo, I assume you go down and also find a leaf to breathe.
Yes, and I would like to try to attempt to locate and see our dragon friend and help him get to a place like a leaf or some
Sure.
air too.
The dragon seems to be okay, and he's just like holding his breath as he like uses his wings to propel itself towards the bottom, and a bunch of mud kind of goes up as he like digs his claws in to really have something. And he doesn't seem terribly worried about needing to breathe at the current moment, but you do see like little air bubbles like escaping from its nostrils.
He's gonna need to put his snoot under one of these soon.
So
Oh.
I would also swim down closer to everybody, take out the key, and like hold it and say lock water. See if anything happens.
We die.
So say that sentence again. What do you do before you say lock water?
Like swim down to kind of like still kind of above where everyone is and kind of pointing the key at them.
Okay.
Like in their general direction to see if it creates like this area of no water. And
Okay,
say like,
yeah.
lock water, pointing towards
Sure.
them because I can swim around in it. I'm fine.
Yep. Okay. So you say lock water. As you do, I know I keep just having you roll perception, but that's what makes sense right now. So can you just roll a perception check for me as you're kind of like looking to see what effect that might have?
11, but passive is 14. I don't know if that makes a difference.
I mean that's good enough. You're kind of like looking around. Well, there's still water, like it's still there. It doesn't seem to be much of a change. And then you notice something like right as you're looking, trying to look over there, and you know something is actually right in front of you, right about where you are holding the key. And there seems to be here and there just these disparate little uh, what look like crystals start to form, and then there's more of them, and they start to kind of like grow and move out, and you realize they're ice crystals, and it's growing
Okay.
and
Oh, no.
expanding in all
Unlock
directions.
water.
It has no effect.
Oh, fuck.
Lock ice.
You're kind of doing this and trying to see what the effect is, and this now a patch of ice, this frozen water that is kind of suspended there, right? Is growing and growing, and as it gets to be like a few feet across, right, as these like crystals are snaking out, it then seems to like dislodge from where it is and start to sink towards the
It's
bottom of the water.
the ice is sinking.
Yes, the ice is sinking. Yes, I know ice. Yep, I've seen cups of water, but this ice sinks, and as it does, it actually continues to grow as well. So it
Uh-oh.
is still growing, and like so that when it hits into the sand, it actually starts to, and you can see the ground around it. Crystals start to grow over the sand, and that looks as if it is also starting to freeze as this thing is rather slowly, but actually more rapidly as there's more surface area of it starts to be, until there's right now, as you all kind of go and look and see this thing, there's about a person-sized hunk of ice crystals that is expanding in your general area.
A person sized.
Yeah,
Okay. I'm gonna cast destroy water
on it.
on the ice itself. It
All
can
right,
do
yeah.
it can up to a 30-foot cube.
Sure. So as you do, and you kind of like make it big, and you kind of even cast it a little bit under the ground, right, to get the water there. There's all of a sudden just this like nothingness there that is immediately filled in by other water. But it does seem as if you have destroyed this growing um, ice crystal. And then as you do that, as you look off to the side of something else that's wiggling, you do see a little bit off to the side and partially buried into the uh, ground, your buddy Zorn, who is like trying to climb his way out of the sand.
Oh. Does wait. So if I talk, can anyone hear me or no? Because I'm under my own leaf.
Yeah, I mean, it would be like
Like the sound would
pretty.
travel through water, but
It,
If
it
if you
would, but
put
it's
your
so distorted.
if you put
Yeah.
your head in the water and talked, someone underneath the water might be able to hear you.
Yeah, but to actually like make out.
I think to myself, I wonder if our rock friend dude needs to breathe air.
Do I see him struggling trying to get out of the mud?
And so he's kind of like, and then stops, and then very quickly sinks into the mud.
Oh,
Ooh. Bye.
he
Did
he
he die?
he might be able to
Breathes the mud.
live in the dirt. I don't know.
Mm.
He's an
And
earth
then
elemental.
right out of the sand, right below you, it comes up. You see this like big toothy mouth come up first, and then the three arms, and he's just standing directly on the sand as one of the arms just looks up at you and gives a wave.
I'm gonna put like thumbs up and then like thumbs down. at him to like.
And the like 3-clawed hand that he has kind of gives a shake, like this is so.
All right. Well, he's not dying. The ice
Okay.
sunk to the bottom. That's gonna trip me up for the rest of the evening. I was kind of thinking maybe we could ride the iceberg up to the surface, but
Well,
Maybe
seeing
this.
what it did once it touched the sand, you probably didn't want to touch this ice
right.
thing.
Hmm.
All right, I'm going to try to move. Who? Wait. Is Jade and Pink? Are you guys under the same leaf? Are
No,
you
they're
different?
not.
No,
Yeah,
different.
Everyone has
they
their
said
own.
they're about 10 feet away from each other.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to merge mine with Jade's, so like we can talk.
All right, so you grab this leaf and kind of yank it off of the plant, which takes a little bit of force, and the bubble kind of like, and you're rolling acrobatics. Or I could see this as sleight of hand too, to kind of like hold it in such a way that you're not losing big. Yeah, okay. So you're kind of like holding it, and like this water bubble is like almost rolling to an edge, but you move it, and you kind of go over to where Jade
Float
is,
up, try to float up
and
with
it,
the air.
yeah, and you slide them together, so you have this one super big bubble that is very precariously held together under these leaves.
How the hell are we going to get out of here?
I was thinking, what if we keep these above our heads so we can keep breathing, and we just kick our feet and hope that we hit some sort of surface eventually?
Like keep going up?
Yeah, because obviously the ground is down. I hope.
But what if it goes on forever?
Well, the airplane that doesn't make that's bad.
The
The-
air
The
elemental
medieval
plane.
fantasy airplane.
The elemental plane of air didn't go on forever, and neither did earth or fire. So this one has to end too.
We got to get in the middle of the circle, not keep going around it. I don't want to go back to the fire plane. We might burn there.
Yeah,
Okay, so if we
we're in quite the pickle here. We should have never gone to find this altar.
trying to think, okay, if the circle goes around, that means we walk around the bottom will get us to the plane. So we should swim up. We need to
Okay.
get the wave's attention to tell him, and he can lead the way because he doesn't need a leaf with air in it. And I can't. I'm
Okay.
holding my so
Mhm.
because I can't stay under it. So I can't use my hands. Wait, I can make a friend. He doesn't have to breathe. I make an echo, and he holds it for me.
Okay. Yeah, he's like,
It's like having a servant. Okay, wave.
Right.
I know I'm waving. I'm trying to get your attention.
Yeah, let's swim over to the captain's leaf.
sure.
We
What's
think
up,
we're
Cap?
going to go up.
Up that way.
Mhm.
That way.
Mhm.
All right. Do you want me to swim up that way for a while and see if I find anything?
Have a knife.
Have a knife? Do I have a knife? I have a spear.
That'll work if this has a sharp part, right?
Yeah.
Because you need to. I want to help people cut their leaf off the plant so that they don't lose all the oxygen, the air.
Oh, I could just use my sword.
Oh, even better. I didn't
Yeah.
know you had a sword.
You tell Bing. Not that I wouldn't mind leaving him down here, but we should probably let him know.
Yeah, let them know what's going on. You know.
I'm watching. I'm reading your lips.
All right.
Yeah,
So
you can-
as you're a little ways off,
He's really
Uh,
bad at getting us out of this place.
You didn't
Zorn
take a
actually
feed, you
like waddles over to where Bink is and kind of sticks his face under the leaf, and he doesn't seem to need to breathe, but he's like, "Hey, do you think I'll be getting home soon?"
Or that he wants to go home.
Bink, he's talking to you. He's right now like stuck under the leaf with you.
I don't know. We're probably gonna die here, to be honest with you.
Are you friends with that dragon?
Yep. And he said if you try and steal, he'll kill you anyway. So you're probably gonna end up dead.
And when you say that, he kind of takes a half step back away from you. Like,
No, I'm just kidding. I don't even know how to get out of here. I'm watching my friends talk to each other, and they don't even want me to be over there.
he says, I can move through the ground.
Really?
Yes.
Do you think we can get out if we go down?
Can you go through the ground?
Nope.
Yeah.
Worth a shot.
I might be able to stay here. I don't know how well you will do.
Yeah, I'll die.
Probably.
Well, if I die, you can have my money.
He takes another half step back towards you.
But don't try to kill me, though, please.
Stab, stab.
You can't swim?
No. But
All right.
I can move through the ground.
I'm gonna detach my bubble.
Oh. Yeah, and he kind of like backs up away from you as you're doing it, like to get out of your way and out of the bubble.
And I'm gonna go swim to the rest of them.
Sure.
I'm gonna try and merge bubbles.
You guys now have 3 bubbles all like moved together, and
Just
every
the-
once in a while, because they're leaves, right? So they're like moving, and every once in a while there's a bloop as a little bit is lost upward.
I'll just put the tip of the bubble.
Yeah, just the tip.
So that sound travels out your mouth through the air.
Listen. Rocky said that he's fine here, and he can run, he can stay, or I think he wants to leave, but I know you guys don't want me in the bubble with you, but we gotta get out of here.
Well, we were coming. We were coming to get you.
No, he wasn't. And I'm gonna look at him with this snarl. If you could see my face right now, no, he wasn't.
And I have a sword in my hand.
I'm not scared of your sword.
He was going to come help you. Oh my god.
And then I use it to try and cut
God.
off Jade's leaf.
Yeah, easy enough to do, right? They're pretty thick, the stalks that hold them, but I mean easy enough to cut through. At this point, your dragon friend is like sticking its snout underneath some of like the larger, higher of these leaves and trying to like precariously like snort up a little bit more air. He does seem to be able to hold his breath for quite a while, but it's a bit more difficult for him to get a breath in. But he
Oh,
does seem to
God.
be managing it.
So all right. I think we're going to go up.
All right.
All right. That should I cut off a leaf for Bartok? How is it? Who's gonna hold that?
I was going to offer to have hold my own and give him an echo. He just needs to stay within 30 feet of me so it doesn't poof away.
So should I tell him to swim slowly?
Well, you know, just
Ugh.
stay together.
All right. Let me go swim over to him and tell him our plan.
Thank you.
Just swim over.
Yeah.
Gotta
And it kind of like
Go.
turns its head towards you.
I kind of talk as best I can. It's like we're gonna use the leaves over our heads and we're gonna swim up and breathe every once in a while when we need to. And the captain's gonna make a shadow echo to hold the leaf for you. Just stay with us.
And it kind of like looks at you skeptically, like kind of understanding and getting the plan, but just a bit dubious about everything. But he doesn't argue. You're not sure he could argue, but he doesn't.
All right, swim back to the cap and give him a thumbs up. Like, yep, let's do this.
Okay. Captain breathed in some water. Okay. I don't. I hope this goes well. Oh my gods. So I will take hold of my own leaf again and
Sure.
move over to a big one and have my echo cut one off for the dragon to
Okay, and the
lift some,
dragon's kind of like looking over at it.
lift some air when he needs to.
Okay.
And we'll start like kind of kicking up like swimming, but also letting the air like a hot air balloon take us up and kicking
Sure.
to give us momentum, I guess.
Yeah, so as you're doing this, you're noticing a couple things that are a bit strange. One is the air doesn't seem to be propelling you up quite as much as you would expect it to. Even with, and the leaf's pretty heavy, right? I mean, the thing is freaking huge, and this big stalk, even cut down, it's kind of heavy. You obviously have all of your gear and armor and everything else, and it's kind of heavy. And while you find the water fairly easy to move through, it is not reacting the way you would expect to, as you have pretty much like a balloon of air that ideally would want to escape up. So as you're going and kicking and moving, you are able to swim up, but it's not nearly as much as you would expect, and you're going probably just a bit quicker than what your like swim speeds would be, like that half movement speed would be.
For someone who has a swim speed and who is
Sure.
very used to swimming,
Yeah.
does this feel different than normal water?
Oh, this would be a nature check, right? All day this would be a nature check.
14.
Okay. So it does. First of all, it's not salt water, which is kind of strange enough. But it doesn't, you've swum, so in freshwater, swam.
Swum.
You done swum in some fresh water too, and it just feels different. The water moves around you differently, right? And it actually almost feels like it's easier to move through. But it definitely seems to have some different properties than anything you've ever been in before. But for you, you're like, you're loving it, honestly. If moving through water was as easy as it is through this, you'd almost never be on the deck of the ship. You'd rather just swim next to it. The red dragon is kind of trying to swim, and does seem to be having quite a bit more trouble. And actually, as you look at your other companions, all of them, as Zorn kind of disappears below you, you're surprised they're having as much trouble as they are. If it makes sense.
Okay.
Are we making progress, everybody? Oh, you can't. Most of you. I hope you hear me.
Yeah, and you're moving very very slowly, generally upwards. So several minutes later, you look down and you can still see Zorn just kind of like waving at you with one of its arms
Leaving him. Okay.
as you leave him goodbye.
Yeah.
Wave, why don't you roll a perception check for me? As like you don't have a big leaf over you. You kind of look around as much as you want.
16.
As you look up and you're moving, the first thing you notice is that you don't notice any break in this water, right? It seems to just continue on as far as you can see. The other thing is being as low in the water that you must be for that to mean, you can't believe that light is penetrating this deep, but somehow it is perfectly bright enough for you to see.
Do I notice any change in pressure?
as you're going.
I
There
guess
is
we're
not.
swimming
It
up.
seems. Yeah, you actually do not, right? And you, I think, can move up quicker, and you kind of move away from the group and up, and you're not feeling any change in pressure the way you would expect to, from this. And uh, the other thing you notice is that slightly above you, a bit of a ways off, you do notice, though it's hard to see exactly what they are, things moving in the water.
Do they look like elemental things?
Possibly, possibly. At this point, they're not moving towards you. They're making no. They don't seem to notice your existence
Okay.
or care if they do. Uh, but they're a bit long. It, they almost move through the water kind of stingray-y, right? Because they seem to have like big wings and kind of a tail as they're moving through. But you can't really tell exactly what they are. They don't look quite elemental in that pure sense of like the earth elementals you saw were big rocks, the air elementals you saw were made of air. But you also know Zorn is an elemental, and he is a bit more has a bit more personality to his makeup than just that too.
I guess the question is, do I swim towards them or away from them, or just keep going up? I don't know. The cap said swim up, so I'm just gonna keep swimming up until I hear.
I was
Yeah.
going to come down and be like, "Hey, can you try to find that portal again?" But
Well, as you start to move up,
Not for another hour, or not till we rest for an hour.
and as you get closer, you notice that these things are strange. They're kind of like their bodies are like a blue um, that kind of moves from like a darker to a lighter blue. Their wings also are this very light blue that's almost transparent in the water as they're swimming around. But much of their body and kind of almost like a mane around their head seems to be hairy, right? And you can kind of see these long hairs as they float around to the through the water, almost like they could swim in cold water and stay warm. Um, and why don't you roll, since Wave, you're probably the only one really seeing them right now. Can you roll an Arcana check for me? Keep having you do the rolls, but this is kind of your element, so
Yeah,
you a bit more.
14.
A 14. Okay. Um, you look at these and you're trying to place like where they are, and I think most of your you speak primordial and the different dialects and that kind of thing. I think most of your arcana knowledge probably is planar, uh, right? I think that's fair to say about your character.
Mhm.
And you're looking at them, and like with the hair, that's like an elemental of water should be able to be in any sort of water situation and not need like these million traits to stay warm and bingo and uh yeah, cover it. We don't want Toss to get upset. Um uh
It's my buddy.
yeah, but so you don't imagine that they would be um elemental. Roll a d6 for me.
Mhm. 4.
And there are 4 of these creatures kind of swimming around. And at this point, being as close as you are and getting a good to be able to get a good look at them and everything, they have definitely noticed you are there, though they have not reacted to you yet. As everyone else is kind of a bit below, but still swimming up towards you, what would you like to do?
Uh, First I would kind of swim down and stop to the captain and let him know that they're like 4 things that might be like fish-like that I don't get the idea are elementals.
Yeah, they look actually
And
almost like humanoid because as you got close, uh, while they're generally using their tail and their wings, I should have said this because that makes more sense, right? Their wings, they curled up because you get a pretty good perception check, kind of into that fur. They do seem to have humanoid limbs.
Okay.
like arms and legs. Like they'd also be able to walk on land, and they almost from a distance they look almost like ray like, right? And that's the way they're moving through the water. But up close, they almost look like a winged humanoid creature.
And I guess I would ask the cap, one, if we should go talk to them, and two, if the dragon should stay here because I'm afraid the dragon might eat them. But 2A, if they're hostile, I kind of want the dragon to come with me so the dragon can eat them. So Cap, there's some things over there,
Fucking shit.
and I don't know if they're people or not, but they have fur, hair, and they have wings, and they have tails, but they have hands. It's weird things, but we're in the elemental plane of water, so sure. Um, but there's like four of them, and they might be friendly. They might know how to get out of here. They might be able to talk to us. Um, and I don't want the dragon to eat them, but they might be mean and they might attack us. In that case, I do want the dragon to eat them, because fuck them.
Okay.
What
Why
should I
don't
do?
we? Well, we could try and approach them, but tell the dragon ahead of time that we might want to try to talk to them, and if they are mean, he can eat them.
All right, you want me to go tell the dragon that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope. Well, come back and let me know if he agrees to try and talk to them. Because if he doesn't, then he might just eat them, and we don't have a
Okay.
chance.
Sure. All right. Swim over to Bartok.
Yeah.
So
And as that, like after talking to him, you do notice these things. They're still kind of keeping this like weird circuitous route, but they are slowly moving towards you. They also seem to be like communicating in some way. That's not quite just spoken language. You can't really tell what it is.
okay, talk to the dragon really, really quick. Tell him the same thing, and swim. See what he says. Like, can
Uh,
are you okay with eating them if they're bad, but not eating them if they're gonna help us?
he looks up at them and looks back at you, and gives you another one of those like dragon pedantic looks. Like I can't believe I'm dealing with someone who doesn't know this stuff, and he just lets out this bit of air that's there, and the very deep bass of his voice, it just reverberates in you, and you can tell exactly what he said, even though he's speaking underwater, right? Because he only says one word, and it's demons.
Ooh.
And I want everyone to roll initiative.
No.
Just as a heads up, I'm going to do 2 rolls. The first one is going to be Bartok, and the second one is going to be the enemy. I should have printed this out. I'm so used to doing it on a computer that now I'm gonna have to switch between tabs, but that's not that big a difference. Not that big a deal. So Bartok first. It's gonna be a straight D20. Not bad though. And the demon is going to be Bowie is in front of me trying so hard to be cute. She's like sticking her head through the back arms of the chair. Okay. Uh help me over here, guys, just so I can get this done nice and quick. 25 to 20. That would be Pink.
Me.
And I have
24 is
20.
Pink. 20 is Hondo.
17 is the dragon, the first one you did.
Okay, Bartok.
12 is wave.
Okay.
Both enemies and Jade got 8.
Jade, what's your modifier?
3.
Okay, they're the same.
No, it's 4. It says it right under the initiative.
Yeah.
For me?
No, for her it's +3. It says right there. You're looking at
I'm
Josh.
looking at
Yeah. Jade, I want you to just roll a D4 for me. Even you go first, odd they go first.
Okay. 1 second. I'm doing it.
Y'all got the same modifier. It seems even you go first. Okay, so 7 Jade, and then 7 again. these creatures, these entities that have been designated as demons by your buddy Bartok the dragon. Okay, so at this point, they are coming towards you. Bink, what are you going to do?
They're
How do we
coming
get a
to attack.
rainbow?
I know it's pretty cool, but so they look like obviously. I feel like they're gonna attack us.
Um,
Maybe.
hard to say. I mean, they haven't done anything yet, but they are demons coming in your general direction.
All right. I'm gonna hold my mm, my magic missile. Hold action.
All right, so okay, so you're casting magic missile. So mark off the spell slot, but you're not, using it until you're holding that action. Okay, good to know. Anything else you would like to do?
No. Nope.
Okay, yeah, you're still sitting there like an old anime movie, just holding this big
Powering
giant
up.
leaf over your head and powering up, and it's all good. Okay, Hondo, you are up next. 20.
I'm going to test, like, letting go of the leaf to see if it remotely moves slowly by itself. So where if I have two-handed axe or axe and shield, I don't need to hold it to defend myself.
Yeah. So as you let go, it actually starts to fall and actually starts to like slide towards like the stem side so that like the air would then be released.
Okay.
You know, if you want to hold on to it, you can grab it before that happens, but you see it
Right.
start to like turn. But yeah, if you just let go, that air bubble is going to go up and the leaf is going to go down.
All right. So I am going to continue to hold it, keep shield on back,
Sure.
axe in other hand,
Okay.
and that is testing my action, like doing all that. I guess that was a lot, so I'll be fine with that if it is.
No. That's not really that's like holding in like half a second saying, nope, can't let go of this thing, And I can even say you might have tested that on the way up a little bit too,
Okay. Fair.
So yeah. No, that's
I'm going to hold an attack as soon as one of those is in melee range of me.
sure. Sounds good. Okay.
That's my turn.
Bartok is up next. Bartok ain't fucking around. He swims directly towards these things. Just its wings go out and just like grab at the water like big hands and just propel it forward as the wings then go around its body, and it just opens up its mouth and it is going to bite at one of these creatures. Let me get into roll. Okay, roll
I wanted to
d20.
defy physics and have him do fire breath.
It's not out of the realm of possibilities for the fight. Right now, he's just doing what he was doing with the elementals, right? Go towards them quick and bite.
Okay.
It's been working for him on the plane of existence he's been on for a long time. So that's a plus 14 to hit. And 18, I'm assuming, is going to hit. Yep, 18 is definitely going to hit these demons. How many did we say there are? There's 4.
4.
Yep.
I should have had you roll a d12. That would have been really fun.
Sure.
Okay, so he bites it. And what is damage for a dragon bite attack?
Oh Jesus! Forever everything.
Roll 2d10 plus 8. 2d10 plus 8. So that's 21 points of damage. He's also going to make 2 claw attacks. Roll d20. Because that's what he does. That's also a plus 14, which just makes sense.
Thanks, Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like raking at the same one he just bit. That's an 18, so that's going to hit. The second attack is going to be a 16. That's going to miss. Or it's going to hit, but the thing kind of like rolls off as it's not able to get in. But he definitely hits again. So his claw is going to be damage 2d6 plus 8. Okay, so that's a 15 more points of damage. Kind of nice that the first one to hit it is this dragon. It kind of gives you guys a little information, right? about it, seeing this big bite taken out of it, this scratch, as the demon kind of like twirls and moves in the water away from it a little. There, the dragon did 36 points of damage. It is a giant, huge dragon, and this demon does not look bloodied. Not even close. Wave, you're up. Jade's
Merlin.
on deck.
How far away are these things from us?
Probably no more than 20 feet or so.
All right. I am going to take out my short sword, and I'm going to cast protection from evil and good on myself.
Okay, and remind me what that does.
That means
I think it gives them disadvantage, but
yes. Aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. Which, if he said demons, I'm assuming they're fiends. Disadvantage on attack rolls against me. I also can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them.
okay. Nice. Okay, perfect. Very good.
And I will kind of wait to see if they're all going to attack the dragon, or if they're going to try and come after us.
Sure. Yeah, 100%. Jade, you're up.
Okay, so I'm going to reach my tail into like the pocket of my pants
Sure.
so that it's touching my holy symbol, which is a conch shell.
Yeah.
And I'm going to cast Blast on Wave, Bank, and the dragon.
Okay. And Bless gives plus D4.
Yeah. Sorry, Hondo. They just seem like they can do more damage.
Okay, I'm gonna try to remember for Bartok, and you guys remember that you have that as well. Okay. You and Jade, you please remember that you're concentrating on that spell.
Yes.
Same thing with Wave. You're concentrating on yours
Mhm.
as well. Okay, perfect. That anything else you'd like to do, Jade?
No.
Wonderful. All right. The demons are going to go next, and you do indeed watch as they swarm this dragon. The four of them just like going at him. They are large, right? They are probably 10 feet long. Plus this big old wingspan they have. They're large creatures, but nowhere near as big as this dragon. But the four of them kind of swarm to attack.
So now that they're attacking, do I get to make my attack on one of them?
100%, yeah. You
Okay.
can cast magic missile. Do you
Um,
want to cast it at the one,
That's already
or I
been
guess you
hurt.
can, yeah, if you wanted to, or you can do it at another one, or you can split them up.
Well, how bad does that one look?
Not terribly bad.
Fucking son of a bitch. Okay. I'll just do magic missile at that one, the one that's hurt all of
Okay.
them.
Yeah, is it 3 missiles at this point? These 3
So
missiles
it's 3 missiles plus 1 per spell level.
plus 1. Yep.
So it's 4, right?
Well,
No.
what level are
3
you?
base.
What level are you? It depends what level you're
That's
casting
one.
it
It's
at.
one.
Yeah. Okay.
So 1d4. So I gotta roll 1d4. Sorry. Slash roll. It's just one. I just roll 1d4.
It's no
3.
3D.
It's 1d4 for
3d4.
each one.
3d4 plus 3.
Yep.
Plus 3.
Since you're
Okay.
casting it at the
Plus
same all at the
3.
same
Cool.
target.
Yeah.
As these missiles just of pure energy shoot out, displacing water behind them, and go and shoot one that is about to like rake at the dragon's eye. You do 11 points of damage.
No, it's 14.
Plus Blast.
There's a plus 3.
Does bless to attack or to
Plus
damage?
is only on an attack roll.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. So right. So
it's 14
so
damage.
14 points of damage. Perfect.
Damn, 2 4s, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, nice. As you do, and as this thing was going down to like rake at the dragon's eye, it's pushed back. The other 3 swarm in to attack.
Oh, can I just note for flavor? I just did like a little Kamehameha.
From underneath your little leaf.
Yes.
Not little leaf,
Next
hell of
time
lot bigger than
I do
you.
the move, I'll show you on camera
Okay.
if I can get my camera to work. Continue.
Yeah, no. So I'm looking at. So they are going to do. The first one is going to do 2 claw attacks and a bite at the dragon. So for the. So for its first attack, that's a nat 1, and a nat 4. So neither of those are going to hit. Um, and the bite is going to be a 17, which I think also misses. I'm not going to sit here and roll for 4 demons, right? Couple things right here. I'll just say, if you haven't noticed, these demons are way stronger than you guys are right now.
Yeah,
If you
we
notice,
also
I'm
We
putting
also
plus 10 to
promised.
their attack.
We also promised we would protect the dragon.
Right. No, definitely. And right now, I'm just saying I'm not going to go necessarily rules as written with this combat, right? That does not mean there's not danger. It just means I don't want it to take 3 hours. So they're like scratching and raking and biting at the dragon, and it's like um uh writhing under the water and like getting them off, and they can't quite seem to get in to do damage. But your dragon friend does look like he's not terribly happy to have these things swarming and all around it. Uh, so Bink, we are back up to the top with you. What would you like to do?
I will cast another magic missile at the one that is again hurt.
Sure.
So ah, dang. 8 damage.
8 points of damage. Okay.
Dang.
Yeah.
Went from
As
two
again,
fours to 2 1s.
at that point, you shoot it again and smack it. It turns in your general direction, have you now having hit it kind of like twice in a row, and is looking towards you.
Okay.
Anything else you like to do?
No.
Hondo, you're up.
going to try to move over to Wave.
Okay.
So I can say something to him
Sure.
and say, Wave, lock them.
All right. Anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
No.
Okay. Bartok is up next. Bartok flies ahead of these things. He is going to take uh, 3 attacks of opportunity in doing that. Again, with the claws. Another natural 1. Oh my god, today. 1 attack is definitely going to hit. Okay, so the other 2 are going to hit. So Bartok is going to take a little bit of damage there. So he's going to take 21 plus 15. That's going to be 36 points of damage on Bartok. As they just rake it, and he turns and opens his mouth, and so you watch as the area in front of you seems to be like obscured with this black thick smoke that you have no idea how it is traveling through this water. There is a torrent of flame that shoots out from this dragon, catching all 3 of these demons in its path, as this like impossibly big cone of fire that you just feel the heat wave off of, and it displaces enough of the water. You feel it like push you back a bit. You actually see like the leaves, the tops of the leaves bow a little bit with just the pure force of it. So they're gonna make dex saves. I just want to see what the DC is. Oh, 21. That's not high at all. My God. Okay. Oh, look, one of them made this. 2 of them made the save. And then for, let's see, Adult Red Dragon, Fire Breath. It's only 18d6 damage. Okay. So he does one above the average, 64 points of damage.
Jesus Christ.
They only take half. So they do seem to have a bit of fire resist. Oh, I never. And 2 of them made it right, but I forgot there's 4 of them. So does the last one make his roll? No, definitely not. So the ones that make it actually take half of half, which half of 32 is 16. My God, here's math. Okay. The one that was being attacked, the one that it was looking at Bink, definitely looks as if he's a bit rough right now. But the others look like they're okay and not terribly hurt by the fire. That's going to be Bartok's turn. Wave, you are up. What would you like to do on your turn, man?
Well, the cap said so, so I guess I'll try this. I don't know if this is an action or if this is just like a free action. But I would take the key and point it at it and say, "Lock water creatures."
Demons.
Ooh, this is tough. I don't quite know what that. Why don't you roll an Arcana check for me? We'll see if you roll well enough that something should happen, and then I'll, for the life of me, try to figure out what that would be.
That's a 7.
Yeah, I think there's no effect at that. Okay. That was an iffy one. I wasn't sure if it should work or not. So I think to that one there's not quite an effect.
Okay. Was that my action?
I would say so.
All right. I'll look at the cap and I'll just like shrug my shoulder like nothing happened.
Yeah. Okay, Jade, you're up.
So, is there one in particular that looks like it's healthy-esque?
Yeah, I mean 3 of them look rather healthy.
Okay, so I'm going to use my channel divinity to attempt to ensnare and restrain one of them.
Okay.
They have to make a strength or dex save. It is their choice, or I guess your choice, because they're not real.
Well, they're going to do whatever they're best at. Strength or dex save, they're going to do a strength. So just one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. They'll do a strength save. That is a 17.
Yeah, that saves.
Okay. Yeah, they have a very good save modifier for the strength.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
plus 10 there.
That's the end of that.
Okay.
I'll get to use this someday.
Yeah. You do, and it doesn't, and that one actually turns, and it's looking directly at you now.
Good day.
It actually had advantage on that too, but it doesn't need it, so. Okay.
That's it.
All right. After Jade, it is the demon's turn. So one of them, the one that was hit, is going to swim down towards Bink. And it is going to attempt to grab Bink. Even it's swimming with kind of like this little bit of like a ray-like tail, and its feet that are large and used almost like flippers, and then these big wings that it has that move through the water. But it reaches out with its arms to grab at Bink, and you see its face. It's almost like a life-size, like a bat face almost, with this like little mouth and these big black eyes, and it seems to be screaming, but you hear nothing as it's underwater, and it is going to attempt to restrain you. You can do a dex or a strength save, Bink, to try
So
to
you got a
contest
17?
it. A 17?
Is that what he got? The
Nope,
demon?
that was my last roll. This is the roll now, so he got a 15.
Oh, it was Dex or what? I'm sorry.
Or strength.
But
Yeah,
you
it's
get to add
definitely a
4
But-
or a D4.
Yep, you can
Oh,
roll a
shit.
d4
Sweet.
Yes.
because of bless. Absolutely.
Come on. Please.
So it's a
Three or-
12
three
against
or
a
a 4.
15. You need
Damn
3 or
it!
4, and
Got
that's
a
a 1.
1.
So it grabs you and like continues to move. At this point, um, I think you let go of your leaf at that point too, right? Because
Oh.
it is
Oh.
pulled to your side, and to like hold it in such a way that it is actually like stable to hold that
Oh.
bubble. I think the bubble just this huge bubble starts moving upwards, as you are now just held on by this huge, muscly, hairy beast.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. Um, the other one is gonna turn and look at Jade. Um, and as it goes, it's gonna take one of its claws and attempt to claw you. That's an 18 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's gonna do 21 points of slashing damage.
Jesus.
Oh, piercing. I'm sorry, it's piercing damage.
21.
21, yes. Yes, 21 points of damage.
Okay.
As it slashes you, and you have this big gash across your side and chest now from this huge claw, as your body like turns just from the force of it. The other two are going to attack the dragon. I'm going to do what I did last time and roll for 1 and kind of have it count for both of them. Okay, one of them is. Oh, what they? I'm sorry, they get 3 attacks, and they're going to take all of them against it. So, 1 attack each from the claws are going to hit the dragon. So he is going to take a total of 19 and 13, 32 more points of damage. As he is getting battered right now too. He is definitely a very hardy creature, but you can see these huge gashes appearing all across him. Okay, so at that point, back to the top of the round, Bink, you are up, and you are currently grappled by this creature.
Oh god. I don't have I'll try to use sapping sting on it.
Sure, is that a save or a
Yeah, it's a
attack
save.
roll?
It's a save.
What kind of save?
I don't know. A con save, sorry.
Con. Okay, perfect.
Yep. It's 1d4.
That's only a 12,
Nope.
which I don't think is going to make it for you.
Nope.
All right, yeah, roll for damage.
So so the demon would fall prone.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
would he then let go?
I will say in this instance that's fair enough. He will let go of you. Yeah.
That was the hope.
I mean, because he's prone, he's in water.
Yeah.
He's not, but yeah, I think that is a fair consequence of failing that save is that he is forced to release you.
All right, and then I'll try and swim toward the rest. Actually, I'm gonna try and swim toward the dragon just a little bit. See if I can get within 30 feet.
Yeah, sure. I mean, he's only about 20 feet above where you guys were.
Even me,
Oh,
after being taken a little bit?
Yeah, maybe, a little bit more than that, but you're definitely within 30 feet of the dragon. Yeah, that's no
All right, so I'm
problem.
gonna try to get between 30 feet of everyone if possible.
Yeah, I
If
think
that
that's
okay,
easy
good.
enough to
All right,
do. Sure.
sweet. I'm good.
Okay. Uh, Hondo, you're up.
I'm going to try to swim over to the demon that was grabbing Bink,
Yeah, absolutely.
and I'm going to hit it with my axe.
Roll to
And my
attack. And roll. I'm gonna say roll at advantage because it is
natural
prone, whatever
20.
that means. Natural 20. Damn.
Hell
Okay.
yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Roll
16 slashing damage.
16 slashing. Okay. Wait. Did you double the die?
Does the +5 as the extra roll?
Yeah, that's 16. But the 11.
No.
Oh, I see. It's already doubled there.
Yeah, roll
Okay,
20 just
okay.
it rolled 2 dice.
My gosh, roll 20 is such a smart freaking website. Okay. 16 points of damage.
I'm going to action surge and
Sure.
hit him again.
Yeah, go for it.
Ooh. Oh, do I still have the advantage because he's prone?
Yep. Yeah, you definitely would.
23.
23 is gonna hit.
9 slashing.
Okay, so that's 25 total, right? 16 plus 9. Okay.
And
All right.
that. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, as you just take these huge swipes at this thing, that is a bit, just out of sorts from this attack it had from Bink. Just leaving just blood, this black thick blood starts kind of filling the area around as this thing attempts to scream, but the sound is just dissipates into the water. After Hondo, we get to the what's it called, initiative order 20, and something happens here. As the fire kind of and this weird thick smoke that filled the water seems to just be dissipating and moving away. You look out a little bit further, and something seems to be moving closer, moving towards you guys. And at first, you think it must be like another like plant or something that like a huge plant or something that was dislodged, because you see all of these different like tendrils coming off of it. But as you do, you look back and you follow the kind of these tendrils up, and they're definitely not connected to a plant. And as you get this, the water dissipates what was going on a little bit more, and you're able to see it clearer. It is huge. This thing looks as if it would be able to grab and swallow up the dragon whole. It is this large, weird, pseudo octopus like creature, this body with these huge eyes on it, and is looking towards you, and these tentacles are kind of reaching out extremely far and around as you are confronted with what you are almost completely positive must be.
Ah,
Go ahead.
The Kraken!
Oh, crap.
because we are the Kraken something.
And we'll pick it up right there next week,
Crew.
guys.
Crew.
Jeez.
I'm so glad we get to fight a Kraken.
We have to steal its egg.
Maybe he'll help us if we take him as well.
Yeah.
We're the reason the world gets destroyed.
Wait, it could be totally topical, and its name is Karen, and it's just there to tell us to leave.
Guys are being real loud.
Karen the Kraken.
Aaron.
Aaron's just trying to nap.
We woke her up.
And just as a player fun thing for some people who might be in chat that have played with me before, and you guys, before those water demons, the ones that actually like flew before when you were in that small little halfling hamlet with the guy that was like summoned with the water mill. Josh, you weren't with us yet. This was the
Okay.
last campaign. Remember with the watermill
Oh yeah.
and the
winged
baker
witch.
and the baker's son
Oh,
summoned
Yep.
a demon.
yeah.
These are the same ones. You've never fought. You fought them a couple times. You actually
Uh-huh.
fought them in the new campaign. Josh, when you were doing, when
Like
you and Mike were having your swimming battle, these are the ones.
Oh shit.
Well,
Gotcha.
kind of. They were super nerfed.
Right, the ones that were
they're-
flying out like the flying fish.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
very similar to that, but you've never really been underwater fighting these things before. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, this is one of my homebrew that they're specifically flying demons, but because Gusa, the god of demons, is like this underwater guy, they can both fly and swim quite well underwater.
All right.
Well,
Love
that's awesome for them.
I do love reusing stuff, guys. I gotta say.
Good
All right,
news.
so
Something recycled.
last week there was a red dragon, and this
And now there's
week
Kraken.
there's gonna be we end with a kraken. You guys are level 4. It'll be fine.
Lock Kraken. Lock
Find Tiamat next week.
Kraken. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep stepping it up.
I want you to hold true on your promise. That means that the other group gets to fight a Tarask.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying One way or another.
I'm just saying. Last week,
I-
you said we fought a Kraken, they fought a Tarask. So
I will say too, especially to my friends from the other group who I hope are still watching, because I have an idea of these campaigns, and it's one campaign, it's 2 different stories that there's definitely overlap here that's happening. There's been some hints of that. Some people have pointed it out. But I gave those motherfuckers a boat. Listen.
And took mine
and-
away.
You guys are on the 4th of 4 elemental planes right now, and they are not on their fucking boat. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with those bastards. So what's gonna
kill
happen
them all
on?
and start over again.
I guess so, man. What is gonna happen on Monday? My answer is I don't know, because yeah, I love this. I love this membrane between worlds mechanics, because really I can make it do whatever the fuck I want, and it's just gonna happen to you guys. Sorry. They are on terra firma and just have the ability to do that D&D thing where they fuck with everything I'm working on. Not that big a deal, but honestly, I don't know. I don't want to give too many spoilers, because I know we actually usually have a good amount of viewers on these Thursday sessions. It's pretty wonderful. So some people maybe aren't available on Monday, but we also get a lot of views afterwards for our Monday show. So if people haven't watched it yet, I don't want to give too much away about the craziness that happened on Monday. But yeah, everybody, thank you so much for watching, for being a part of this. We are loving it. Obviously, we are still doing the distance thing. That's just, again, for the health and safety of all the members here at Inroads Productions. But we love that we're still able to play every week. One of us has to prep twice a week. And we still get to see each other and play D&D, and it's super, super fun. So we appreciate all the follows we're getting. If you want to see something, you have ideas, you want to just talk with us, ask questions, you can always go to our website, send us an email, send me a message on Twitter. We check that super often too. We'd love for you guys to reach out and just be in touch. Whether you're someone that's in the chat every week or you're people that watch it afterwards, we are around to entertain and be entertained and really be part of this awesome global D&D community. Anything anyone else wants to add before we sign it off?
Nope, I'm good.
Yep.
Stop lighting up those fireworks, please. You're killing my parents' dog.
Yeah, those fireworks, man. They're pretty, but that's why the professionals are always prettier. So just do that, All right. Well, we'll see you all next Thursday. The other group will be playing on Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, as we always are. We love you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate it.
Bye.